question is, what is your position on measures M and Z and Y?
Well, let me throw those in with the most important thing, which is also a measure that you're very familiar with. In the San Leandro Times, on August 26, 2010, it says 1/3 of city employees make 6 figures. 1/3 of city employees earn 6 figures. The problem with that is that's taxpayers' money that is subsidized taxpayers. It's not tax money. If you don't know how that works and the tax system works, I assume that you take a look at that and make sure of it. Now, I have a solution for that. Very simple. If I get elected to office, the first thing I'm going to do is make sure to enact some legislation. Now, I can get it on the table, but then I'm going to need 2 more votes to get it passed. So I'll get it on the table, and it's this, very simple. I want to withhold and hold back almost 1 million. I can't say. My time is up. I can't explain it to you. Sorry, folks.
Okay, thank you. Mr.
Ask the question afterwards, and I'll give it to you in detail.
Mr. Palau?
What's the question?
What is your position on measures M and Z and Y? Y, not letter Y, but W-H-Y.
On ballot measure M, which is to modernize schools, Burrell Field, and a new high school pool. It's a $50 million bond issue. At this point in time, I'm not sure that I'm for it. I don't know why Burrell Field needs to be either totally modernized or sold to a developer. Developers will do nothing more than make attractive housing and office places. Z is a 1/4% sales tax, and I'm not for that. My position is no new taxes. I do not believe that we need to raise the sales tax in San Leandro to 10%.
Thank you. Ms. Starosciak?
I support both measures M and Z. Measure M is the school bond initiative to rebuild our playground facilities and Burrell Field. As a graduate of San Leandro schools and an alumni of Pacific High School, I believe Burrell Field should be modernized. It is time to make that happen. Measure Z is the sales tax measure for the city. We are in desperate need of resources to protect our quality of life services. Without Measure Z, we will find a very difficult place for San Leandrons, because we will not have the services that we all deserve in San Leandro. The most important race, though, is finding the right mayor after these measures are decided on in November, because the mayor's race is going to give us the leadership and the right leadership to take those measures, whether they win or lose. And that is the most important race in San Leandro this time. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Santos?
This is easy. I support both Z and M. After a $7 million take by the state, the fact that there have been 20% cuts in our various departments in the city, and a reduction really in our police staffing up until today. And naturally, even though we have the COPS grant, we still need to find a way to pay for an additional 5 officers. As far as M is concerned, that is a quality of life issue that goes to the heart of making sure there are parks and facilities available for our children to participate.
Thank you. Ms. Mestas?
The reason I support Measure Z is because the state imposed a temporary 1% tax in April 2009. That 1% tax is set to fall off in July 2011, which means we will not be at a 10% sales tax at that time. I recognize that raising taxes currently is regressive and hurts our poorest segments of society. It will prevent people from shopping locally, and they're already going elsewhere to shop locally. So as your mayor, I'll make sure that during my term, I will put aside reserves. I will concentrate on creating jobs so that we can overturn our economy and not have to raise taxes in the future. I think that if we pass this Measure C, we'll be able to open our senior center, have some time to concentrate on economic development instead of concentrating on how we make more cuts when we first get in office. And I also support Measure M. I think our kids deserve new facilities.
Thank you. Mr. Cassidy?
Yes, thank you. I support Measure M and I'm opposed to Measure Z. And the criteria that I take with any tax measure is, are we getting value for our tax dollars? With Measure M, it's the school bond measure. The school board's done a great job with the Measure B, the 2006 bond measure. That was for $109 million. And on top of that, we've gotten almost close to $40 million from the state and the federal government. All the projects came in on time and under budget. So we're investing in our kids, we're investing in our community, we're getting value for our tax dollar with the school bonds. We're not getting value with our city spending. Giving more money to the current mayor and city council is like pouring water onto sand. They've racked up $24 million in deficit spending over the past 4 years. None of that is due to any state takeaways. And I think the first rule of economic development should be do no harm. Having a 10% sales tax is certainly going to hurt our ability to get Trader Joe's and all the other businesses into town that some of my opponents advocate that we have.